really didn't. Uh, One job I had, we found out about it later, but there was one girl in our orientation group. They always stuck out to me. She just seemed out of place, and we found out later, like I got hired on a Monday at this place. You had like 2 days of orientation, so I had orientation Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesday I was actually out working on. Doesn't really matter what job, but one of the girls in the orientation, she just seemed out of place. I couldn't really describe it. I'm like, yeah, something seems off about it. And then, so that Wednesday was my first day on my new job. And then the following Wednesday, they brought in two new people. They were the next week's orientation group, and they both of them ended up working right next to me. And what happened was we hadn't been there. I think we were there like an hour and a half into the night. It was a 10-hour day, and next thing you know, you see cops. There were, I think some of them had DEA, some of them were local, some of them were from a neighboring state, and it was a multi jurisdiction. I'm not making this up, but there were federal agents there, there were local police there, and then there were apparently some of this went down. I'm thinking the other state might have been where the suppliers, the drug suppliers were. Well, we're in there. These guys got their cop vests on. Some of them were carrying shotguns. A couple of them were leading the drug sniffing dogs. And Benny, the guy that worked right next to me, he looked at me. He was a little nervous, right? And he goes, "Is it like this all the time?" And I looked at him. I go, "Beats the fuck out of me." I go, "Last Wednesday was my first day out on the floor." And he goes, like, "Holy shit, they busted a whole bunch of people." Um, if you're aware of the radio show called Bob and Tom, I'm not going to give you any more hints than this, but they actually did a song on their show about the drug raid at my plant company I was working for. They because one of the guys bought it. He was laughing. He was letting us listen to it, but it was like, there I was working on the line, and it was all this. I mean, it was just this weird shit. But we had the drug sniffing dogs come in, and it was a little bit of a shock. I got to be honest. It was just a little bit of a shock. Well, like I said, that one chick seemed out of place. Well, we found out months later. It was like about 6 months later. We found out that the cops had been putting people into the plant, and I'm positive that girl that was in my orientation group was one of the undercover plants. Because not only did they arrest them, but they were planting other people. Everybody they planted previously probably had to come out. So I got a feeling that they were planting new people in there because there were people that had found out because these people that had been planted in there, when the whole thing was over, those jobs had to be filled, and people were like, "Well, where did these people go?" They're like, "Oh, that was an undercover cop. They've been reassigned. They're not here anymore." So they found out about it. I'm positive she was one of them, but I really don't know. But it just she didn't seem like a sheep. She found seemed more like a wolf. That's the best way I can explain it. And ooh, this is better than last week. I've already got three of them, and this is my second tunnel. That's sweet. This might be a good haul. And the that's all I can really say. And when I was watching those auditors, I can't even remember what her name was. That's what she looked like to me. She looked like she stood out. Just the way she was. She didn't seem like an idiot. She didn't seem emotionally unstable. And then the other evidence I have of this, every one of these auditors that she shacked up with, and I honestly don't know. I know there's like she was living with one, and then living with the other, and they were kind of acting like a couple. Like the one guy, she'd have her arm around him, or she'd be like, massaging his arm, trying to talk to him. Every one of these guys that she like hung out with, one of them I don't think she was because he's currently transgender, going from being a man to a woman, and I don't know how far the surgery is. But every one of these guys that she started being friends with started getting arrested. Like the one guy she went with, he got shot, then he got arrested. He got arrested a few other times, and then suddenly she was gone, and people were asking her because they were always audited together. And someone's like, "Hey, where's so and so?" And he's like, "Uh, I don't think she's auditing anymore." And the next guy she shacked up, well, he started getting arrested all the time right after she started hanging. And then the last one, this guy was going to get arrested on his own, and these other guys, they get arrested here and there. It wasn't like every video, but the other guy, I think his channel was El Charo Negro or something like that. He was a Hispanic guy, and his real name, I guess, was Patrick. And I'm not you can't make this shit up. But El Charo Negro was his. Well, he'd gotten arrested a few times. Well, right after she kind of hooked up with him, he quit making auditing videos. He started making arrest videos. He was just getting arrested all the time. Oh man, I think I lost everybody. Hey, if anybody's still there, please say hi. Um, but he started making these just nonstop arrest videos. It was just unbelievable watching this. I think I lost all my viewers. I got one viewer left, but I had three. That sucks, man. And but yeah, anyways, that was just but I really do. I think she was an undercover cop. Not completely sure, but I think she was. I'm so sad. I'm really trying to make these. I can actually go and turn this on. I'm really trying to make these streams interesting. It's like, and hey, if anybody sees this,